Hi, my name is Rishikesh Kini, and this video is all about IBM Coursera Advanced Data Science Capstone project. The project is water quality, drinking water portability. Outlines: Introduction, Dataset Use Case, Data Exploration, Data Pre-processing, Model Selection, Model Definition and Training, Model Evaluation, Hyperparameter Tuning, and Model Deployment. Introduction: Safe and readily available water is important for public health, whether it is used for drinking, domestic use, food production, or recreational purposes. Improved water supply and sanitation and better management of water resources can boost countries' economic growth and contribute greatly to poverty reduction. Contaminated water and poor sanitation are linked to transmission of diseases such as cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, hepatitis A, typhoid, and polio. Absent, inadequate, or inappropriately managed water and sanitation services exposes individuals to preventable health risks. This is particularly the case in healthcare facilities where both patient and staff are placed at additional risk of infection and diseases when water, sanitation, and hygiene services are lacking. Globally, 15% of patients develop an infection during a hospital stay, with proportion much greater in low income countries. So, I took inspiration from this to use this water quality dataset to understand what constitutes to safe potable water and apply machine learning to it to distinguish between potable and non-potable water. This picture shows that 2.1 billion people globally lack safe water at home, according to 2015 survey. Of those people, 263 million spend more than 30 minutes per round trip collecting water. 159 million drink water directly from surface sources such as streams or lakes. 844 million do not have basic drinking water services. Universal and equitable access to safe water all by 2030 according to World Health Organization and UNICEF. This picture is taken from Kaggle. Kaggle is open source platform for data scientists and machine learning, wherein each user can upload the dataset, download the dataset, and use their notebook. So this dataset is called water quality, drinking water portability. Thanks to Aditya Khadiwal for uploading this dataset. The dataset is about 525 KB of size. The dataset contains 10 features such as pH, which is pH of 1, water which scale from 0 to 14, hardness, the capacity of water to precipitate soap in mg per liter, solids, the total dissolved solid in ppm, chloramines, amount of chloramines in ppm, sulfate, the amount of sulfate dissolved in mg per liter, conductivity, electrical conductivity of water in US per centimeter, organic carbon, the amount of organic carbon in ppm, trihalomethanes, the amount of trihalomethanes in UG per liter, turbidity, measure of light emitting property of water in NTU, potability, it indicates if water is safe for human consumption. Potables means it's give a number 1 and non-potables means it's 0. Now I have used a Jupyter notebook for all my data exploration, model selection, model training, model evaluation, hyperparameter tuning, and model deployment. This project is based on Python. So I have used a IBM Cloud, Watson, and machine learning. Now this notebook is generated from IBM Cloud. I have downloaded the dataset from Kaggle, then uploaded on Google Cloud. Now I have extracted the data in using pandas function. Now I have used head function. You can see the all my features. The dataset contains many nan values as we can see here. .info function gives us the information about the data. Most of data is of type float64, and we can see that many missing values are present. Now, for data exploration, I have used Seaborn and Matplotlib library. I have used a count plot and pie chart to see to see water portability. As you can see, 60% of our data is on non-portable and only 39% of data is portable. Now, the distribution of our features. As you can see, most of our features are normally distributed. So, this is not an issue. You can see that here, it is normally distributed. Then, I have used a correlation matrix to see the correlation between my features. Then, I have used a graph for missing values. As you can see that sulfate have 781 missing values, then pH have 491 missing values, and trihalomethanes have 162 missing values. Now, for missing values, what I have done is I have simply dropped the missing values because it is very risky to impute the missing values using mode, median, and mean, because water data is very sensitive. We just cannot use the imputing method. Therefore, I have dropped the missing values. Here, I have used value count function on portability to see the data. As you can see, there is 1200 records in non-portable and only 811 in portability. So we have to resample the data. Using resample function from sklearn.utils, we can resample the data, and using shuffle from sklearn.utils, we can shuffle the data. I have used both the function. Now you can see that I have 1200 in portability and 1200 in non-portability, which is sound good. Now I have used pandas to CSV function to save my pre-processed data. Then I uploaded the data on Google IBM Cloud, and again I extracted the data. Using the data, I went forward for model selection. Now it's time for model selection. I have used logistic regression, KNN, decision tree, random forest, AdaBoost, Bagging classifier, and XGBoost. I imported the accuracy score matrix from sklearn.matrix. I have used for loop to measure the accuracy of my different models. As you can see that logistic regression gave me 53% accuracy, K nearest neighbor have given me 76% accuracy, random forest 88% accuracy, AdaBoost 65% accuracy, Bagging classifier 85% accuracy. As you can see that random forest clearly wins the contest. For deep learning, I have used artificial neural network. I started with initialization of sequential model. Then I added the dense layer with input shape of 9:1. Then I added the batch normalization for prevent overfitting. Then use activation function as ReLU. Then again I have added the dense layer with 32 hidden layer which with batch normalization and added the activation function as ReLU. Again same. I added the dense layer, batch normalization and activation with ReLU. Lastly, I added the dense layer with one output layer with activation sigmoid. For optimization function, I have used ADAM with learning rate of 0.001. For compilation, I compile my model with loss which is binary cross entropy, optimizer as ADAM, and matrix as accuracy. After fitting the model, I got the training accuracy of 84% and validation accuracy of 77%, or between the 75 and 77%, which is not really good as compared to random forest. Here you can see my training error and validation error. So the random forest is overall winner. Then I started with scaling my data. Therefore, I use standard scalar function from sklearn.preprocess. Then I use a train test split to split the data from training data and testing data. Then I simply imported the random forest classifier, initialize it, then feed my xtrain and ytrain and predicted the x test and store it in a ypred. Then I imported the metrics from sklearn and I got the accuracy around 85%. Now it's time for hyperparameter tuning. So I initialize a random grid and initialize all the parameters of random forest with different values. Then I initialize the random search CV. Then I again initialize the random forest. Then using the randomized search CV, I give estimator, that is RF, means random forest, param distribution with random grid, iter is 100, CV 3, verbose 2, random state 7 and range of -1. -1 because I want to utilize my all CPUs. Then I feed the X train and Y train data to my model. With after model training, I use the best params function to get the best parameter suitable for my model. Then again same, I use best estimator function. Now I stored the X-test prediction in my ypred R variable. Then I got the accuracy around 87.9, which is also 88%, which is quite good. It is an increment of 2% using hyperparameter tuning. This is my classification table. As you can see that F1 score for 0 is 88% and F1 score for 1 is 88%. The overall accuracy is 88%, which is quite good. Now, I have deployed this model on IBM machine learning. Here you can see that this is my scoring endpoint. If you want to see how the model is being deployed on IBM cloud, I have dedicated video about it. You can see that video or you can refer my notebook, which link of notebook and video will be given in the description of this video. Then I initialize the scoring payload and I inserted the fields of my data and values which I want to predict the result. I simply give my values. These values are based on our locality. Then using the scoring endpoint, I uploaded my data and get the result from this scoring endpoint in JSON format. You can see that over here. Now after this, I have created a small web app using Python Streamlit function, and the web app is being deployed on Heroku cloud. Using the cloud, what I did is user can upload the data on my website, and from the website it generates a request to IBM cloud scoring endpoint, and from the scoring endpoint it gives the prediction to this website. So enter this URL drinkingwaterportability.herokuapp.com and enter. You can get the link from our description. Enter the pH value, hardness value, solids and all. These values are based on our locality. And click on check result. You can see that the water is drinkable. You can get the code of this web app and my all machine learning notebook in my GitHub. This is my IBM cloud platform. As you can see, the project is water quality, drinking water portability. I have data asset as water quality pre-process, which I have pre-processed from Jupyter Notebook. Then this is raw data, water portability.csv. I have several notebooks. For data exploration, I have separate notebook, pre-processing data, then model training with deployment, model selection, and deep learning artificial neural network. You can refer this all notebook. I will give the link of this notebook in my GitHub. Here is my deployed machine learning model information. As you can see that I have deployed my model. So you go to deployments, then click on your spaces and click on deploy spaces. As you can see that this is my scoring endpoint. I can use this scoring endpoint to predict the data. Then you can use this code snippet for Java, JavaScript, Python, Scala. As I have used Python, so I will use this snippet. Thank you.
Hey, this is Rishikesh Kini. If you like my project and this video, please give a like on this video. I hope you like my project. And if you have any doubt or any feedback for my project, you can give a feedback on my GitHub. You can raise an issue, right? Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye bye. And yeah, please don't forget to review my project. Thank you.